We continue now at the top of Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph Meseches Rosh Hashana. This is Rosh Hashana Daf 21a. The Gemara is now explaining why, when we have the doubt outside of Eretz Yisrael, when Yontiv is, we always say to do the 15th and the 16th as Yontiv. We never say to do the 14th as Yontiv. And the Gemara explains, Trei Yarche Chasere Kala Islu. The reason is because if you were going to have 2 months in a row that were Chaser, that already everyone would know about it, and therefore that's never really in doubt. Rashi over here says, Trei Yarche Chasere Kala Islu, the Teves Chisr Mimanav Shach. For example, let's say you're talking about the month of Teves, that we know is Chaser, Kiseder Halavana, Bechad Mali, Bechad Chaser. If you're following 1 full month followed by a Chaser. V'misa de Chasru l'Shvat. Now if it came out that they also said that Shvat was Chaser, so Kvar Yotza Kol Lefnei Pesach, everybody would already know that that was the case before Pesach. Uvo Atzleinu Af L'Makom Shein Shluchei Bezin Shel Nisan Magian. Even to areas where the Shluchei Bezin, those who are sent out for the month of Nisan, they didn't reach that area, but everybody's going to know again that, let's say, both Teves and Shvat were months that were Chaser. V'chein b'Tishrei, and the same thing is true by Tishrei. Im Chasru Tammuz v'Av, let's say both Tammuz and Chaser, Sharei Tammuz Tamid Chaser, because Tammuz is always a Chaser, so again, everybody would know about it, so that's not a problem, so you're never going to have a doubt regarding the 14th, the doubt is only going to be regarding the 16th of the month in terms of declaring Yontif. And the Gemara continues, Levi iklo leBavel b'chadzer b'Tishrei. Levi went to Bavel, it was the 11th of Tishrei. Amar bosem tavshila de Bavloi b'yom harabba de Ma'arava. He said the cooked food of those in Babylonia tastes very good, but you should know that in the West, in Eretz Yisrael, it's Yom HaRabba, it's the great day of Yom HaKippurim, meaning you're making a mistake. You think it's the 11th of Tishrei, but in actuality, today's the 10th of Tishrei. They didn't realize that they had added a day to Elul. And so the Gemara says, Amri lei, so they said to him, Asid, please testify that that is the case. If you testify that today really is the 10th of Tishrei, so then we'll fast today. We'll fast for a second day in a row. So Amar Luhu, so he said to them, Lo shamati mi Bezin mekudash. He said, no, I didn't hear directly from Bezin, meaning I happen to know that today is the 10th of Tishrei, but I didn't hear it directly from Bezin, therefore I can't testify. And the Gemara continues, Machras Rabbi Yochanan announced, Kol heicha dematu shluchei Nisan v'lo matu shluchei Tishrei. Let's say you have areas outside of Eretz Yisrael where the messengers, in terms of the month of Nisan, they can get that far, but the month of Tishrei, the messengers weren't able to get as far because there are more holidays on the month of Tishrei. So therefore, let's say you have an area where in Nisan, this particular area, the messengers can get that far to tell them when Pesach is, but they can't get that far to tell them when Sukkot is. So li'avdu trei yomei, so they have to, even in Nisan, when they really know when Yontiv is, they still have to make 2 days, Gezeira Nisan atu Tishrei, because we have to make a decree in Nisan because of Tishrei. Otherwise, people will get confused. They'll say, why are we making only 1 day on Pesach, but when it comes to Sukkot, we're making 2 days, so they'll make 1 day on Sukkot as well. So we don't want that kind of confusion. So we say in those areas, you have to make 2 days of Yontiv, both when it comes to Pesach and when it comes to Sukkot. The Gemara continues, Rabbi Ivo bar Nagri Rabbi Chia bar Abba iklu lahu asr dahavu matu shluchei Nisan v'lo matu shluchei Tishrei. Rabbi Ivo bar Nagri and Rabbi Chia bar Abba, they went to such a place where the messengers for Nisan were able to get there on time, but the messengers for Tishrei were not able to get there on time. V'avdi chad yoma, but those people, they made 1 day of Yontiv when it came to Nisan. They relied on the messengers. V'lo amru lu v'lo midi, and they weren't criticized at all by Rabbi Ivo and Rabbi Chia. They didn't criticize them at all. So Shama Rabbi Yochanan v'ikbit, so Rabbi Yochanan heard about this and he was upset about it. Amar Lu, he said to them, Lav amri l'chu, didn't I say to you, Heicha dematu shluchei Nisan v'lo matu shluchei Tishrei, that if you have a location where the messengers for Nisan are able to get there on time, but not by Tishrei, li'avdu trei yomi, that those people always have to make 2 days of Yontiv, even in Nisan, Gezeira Nisan atu Tishrei. It has to be a Gezeira Nisan because of Tishrei. And the Gemara continues, Rava have a rogil, dava yosef b'tanisa trei yumi. Rava used to make it a custom that he would fast Yom Kippur 2 days, because again, he wasn't really sure when it came to the month of Elul. Was the month of Elul, was it 29 days, was it 30 days? Meaning again, was Rosh Hashanah, was that on the 30th day or the 31st day? So since he wasn't sure, so he would fast Yom Kippur 2 days. So Zimne Chado Ishtakach Kavase, one day it came out like him that he was correct. In other words, it was good that he fasted 2 days, because it turned out that again, Yom Kippur really was on the following day. Rav Nachman Yosef B'Tanisa Kula Yoma de Kippurei. Rav Nachman was fasting the whole Yom Kippur. La'ursa Asahu Gavra. And night, a certain person came. Amar Lein, he said to him, L'machar Yom HaRabba B'Ma'arava. You should know that you got the calendar wrong. And tomorrow is really the great day in the West in Eretz Yisrael. Really, Yom Kippur is tomorrow. So Amar Lei said to him, Mehechat, from where do you come from? Amar Lei said, Mi de Maharia. I come from a place called the Maharia. So Amar Lei, so he said to him, Dam Tehachri, so taking off of the word the Maharya, he said blood is going to be his end, meaning this is going to cause me to get very sick, because now I already fasted one day, now I have to fast 2 days in a row. This is going to cause me to become very weak. Kari Alen, he also called about him, Kalim Hayurod Feinu, that those who pursue us, they're very quick. Meaning you got here very quickly before I was able to eat. I was even able to eat after the Yom Kippur that I had fasted on. And the Gemara continues, Shalach le Rav Huna bar Avin l'Rava. Rav Huna bar Avin sent to Rava the following message: Kadchazis demoshcha tkufas teves ad shitzar b'Nisan. If you see that the winter season, the tkufas teves, is taking all the way until the 16th of Sivan, meaning the spring equinox is not happening until the 16th of Nisan, so avra lahishasa, you should make sure to make that year into a leap year. V'lo tachash lo, don't be concerned about anything else. Tichsiv, because the pasuk says Shamor es chodesh ha'aviv, you have to protect the spring season, which means to say Shamor aviv shel tkufa shehei b'chodesh Nisan. You have to make sure that the spring season happens in the month of Nisan. So again, if it's already extending past the middle of the month of Nisan, if the winter extends that far, so you need to add a month, and you have to push off Nisan by 1 month. And the Gemara continues, Amar Lahu Rav Nachman lahanu nechusei yama. Rav Nachman said to those people who were the seafarers, those people who are going to be out in the sea during the month of Nisan, they wouldn't know exactly when the holiday was. So he said to them as follows: Atan delo yadisu b'kviya diyarcha. You who don't know exactly when we established Rosh Chodesh Nisan, ki chazisu siara demashlim leyuma. When you see that the moon completes the entire day, be'iru chamira, that's when you should destroy your chametz. Rashi over here explains siara demashlim leyuma means to say shahayareach mashlim meoro imonetz lachama, meaning the moon is visible all night. If you have that time when the moon is visible all night until sunrise, she'ino machshech ad shazricha, that it doesn't become dark until the actual sunrise, so then you know that's the time to destroy your chametz. Then you know that's when Pesach is. So the Gemara says, Eimas mashlim, but what day of the month is that true? B'chameisar, it's true on the 15th of the month. So if they're waiting for that point in time, it's already the 15th. Va'anon me'ar beiser mevarinan, but don't we destroy chametz on the 14th of Nisan? So again, if they're going to wait for this siman in order to know when Pesach is, it's going to be too late. They're going to be destroying their chametz 1 day late. And so the Gemara says, no, lididhu demiglulu alma. For them, those people who are in the sea, so the world is revealed, meaning again, the horizon is very clear, so me'ar beisar mashlim. So already they're going to have the sign happen on the 14th, so that's going to be the 14th of Nisan, and that's going to be the appropriate time to burn their chametz. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Beis.